Hello, everyone, and welcome to our brief session about course selection, thinking about colleges, choosing classes for the freshman, sophomore classes. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Mr. Ringette. I am one of the college counselors here at BL. I work with Miss Marchesini, who is one of our other college counselors. She typically works with the front half of the alphabet. I'll typically work with the back half of the alphabet. It will vary from year to year, just simply based on the amount of students in a class. We want to make sure that split is as even as possible. For the sophomores, if you are last names MC through Z, you'll be with me. The front half will be with Miss M. So we're excited to work with you all. We're excited to answer any questions and go along on this journey with you. We are happy to meet. If any students want to stop in to do so, please feel free to stop by. And we're always happy to hear what you're thinking, talk to you about different colleges, and even go through what courses you're taking next year and what that will look like. First and foremost, when it comes to thinking about colleges and careers, you should really start thinking about it right now. Quite frankly, it'll make selecting classes a lot easier. It's going to make the rest of your high school journey a lot less stressful. If you have a general idea of knowing what you want, what you're interested, things like that, definitely helps with setting up college tours. Maybe you're thinking one thing, you're able to go tour those schools or schools that are similar to it. It can definitely make stress a lot less of a thing over the next 2, 3, 4 years. Now, when you're thinking about colleges, think about a few different things. Think about what you want out of your college experience. Think about, do you want to be able to go to sporting events? Do you want to be in a city? Do you want to have a smaller school? What do you want out of your college experience? What type of careers interest you? Are there classes you really enjoy? Are there classes that you don't enjoy? Maybe you realize I can't stand math. I'm not very good at it. Or maybe you are good at it and just don't like it. Maybe engineering is not going to be a good fit for you. So thinking about the classes you can enjoy can be a really good starting spot. You can also think about what you don't want or like out of a specific career. If you know you don't want to sit behind a desk for the rest of your career, for the rest of your life, maybe you can eliminate some different careers out there. So be thinking about all this. It's definitely really crucial, I would say, at this point, and it helps you narrow down your choices and really get to the best fit career for you. We will be doing, I believe next year we'll be doing U Science, which is a career aptitude type of test as well. Now, when you're thinking about a college, there's a few different things we really want you to think about. Things like location. I mentioned this briefly before. How far do you want to be from home? Do you want to stay in DFW? Do you want to stay in Texas? Why do you want to stay in Texas? Is it because it's a certain distance from home, or is it cost? Thinking about that kind of stuff. Thinking about a city versus a college town. Thinking about regions in the country. Maybe you want to be close to family in a different part of the country. Maybe you want to experience winter weather. Thinking about all that kind of stuff. When it comes to city versus college town, though, there's definitely some perks and I guess downfalls to each of them. When you're looking at a city, you're definitely going to have a lot more resources at your fingertips, but it's also usually going to be more expensive. But it's also going to be easier to draw. It's going to be easier to fly directly into compared to a college town that might require you to connect a couple times. So there's definitely a lot of perks and definitely some downfalls to each, but figuring out what's right for you. The other thing is size. Thinking about size. How big of a school do you want? Do you want a school that is maybe 30,000 people where you will have some larger lecture hall style classes? Or do you want something that's a little bit smaller, a smaller private liberal arts school where you might never have a class of more than 40 or 50 kids? So keeping that in mind is always important. Cost is obviously a big factor. I think if, for families having that conversation, even if it's not involving the student on, how much are we able and willing to spend on college, but understanding there are some colleges out there that will offer really good scholarships or cut the cost of out-of-state tuition so that it may even be more affordable than going in state. The environment of the school, do you want a school that's big on Greek life, has big time sports? Do you want a school that is based in the Catholic faith, has a religious component to it? What are you looking for out of your college experience? Really think about this. Maybe it's a specific program. Maybe you're looking for a school that has aviation or architecture. Maybe you're looking for a school that has psychology, which every school has psychology. So understanding how important is the major, and is it a niche major that isn't offered everywhere? That could be a really big indicator in what colleges you're looking at. Additionally, take tours right now, talk to college reps. So we have college reps on campus all the time. It's really important that you go talk to them. It's a great way to learn and also just get comfortable talking to college reps. They understand that if you're a freshman or sophomore, you might not know exactly what you're looking for, but you can simply ask them, I'm new to this process. I'm a freshman. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for. Can you tell me a little bit about your school? I guarantee they'll have a 30-second to a minute long pitch that they can give you about the school. Additionally, take tours. Even if you're not leaving DFW or within a few hours of DFW, you could realistically go tour Austin College, SMU, and UNT and get the idea of what a small, a medium, and a large school looks like. It can be really beneficial in helping you figure out size and even environment. So take advantage of those opportunities. If you have an older sibling that's touring colleges, go along with them, but use it as your experience as well. This can be really beneficial in helping you narrow down specific schools and maybe even careers that you're interested in. Now, it's really important that you think about all of what we talked about, because that can impact course selection as well. So course selection has already begun. You have until March 10th. I'm recording this on March 3rd. So you have a week to kind of make some changes, but talk to your counselors. I know I've talked to a lot of students already about their schedules. Knowing where you want to go and what you want to do can really help your course selection. At the end of the day, we want you to challenge yourself. We are a college prep school. We want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best spot where when you go to college, it's going to be easier. For most of our students, that is the case. At the same time, we want to make you competitive at any college that you're looking at. And a lot of colleges are really wanting to see AP classes, honors classes. They really want to see you challenging yourself, especially in the context of your school. And at BL, we do offer a lot of AP and honors courses. So understand, if you're looking at some of the more selective schools in the country, you may need to challenge yourself. It may be a really tough semester. Junior year can be one of the most difficult years, but it can be one of those make or break years in college admissions. Now, I really want you to ask yourself what schools you're looking at, because that can also determine what classes to take. For instance, if you want to go to, say, OU or Tech or Alabama or Ole Miss, they don't care quite as much about the rigor as schools like UT and SMU and Notre Dame and Boston College and schools like that tend to be a lot more selective. Like I said, we are seeing students needing to challenge themselves, getting up to classes like at least up to pre-calc and math, taking at least 3 years of language. And if you're not taking a third year of language, replacing that class with another core subject area, whether it be an honors social studies class, whether it be AP psychology, whether it be looking at taking a class like AP computer science. It's always really important when you're making those decisions. The core subject areas are always the big ones. So math, science, English, social studies, and world languages. Like I said before, we only require 2 years of language. I highly, highly require 3 or 4. It can be something that can put you over the edge when it comes to college admissions. My biggest advice, if you are looking at some of the more competitive schools out there, is to challenge yourself. Take those AP classes, take those honors classes. Don't just back away because you feel it might hurt your GPA. I promise you, even with a high GPA, if you're not challenging yourself, it's going to make college admissions even more difficult once you get to, your junior, senior year. Now, that being said, I really don't want you to overextend yourself in areas where, you're just not prepared to do it. Have the conversation with your teachers, have the conversation with your counselors. They all are there for you. They want you to be the best you that you can be. They want you to get the best grades you can get, but they also want you to be the most prepared for college and for that college admissions search and the application process. We really, really encourage you to challenge yourself in those areas. Again, it's only going to help you in the long run. But again, have those conversations with your teachers, have those conversations with your counselors. When it comes to AP classes versus dual enrollment, I know oftentimes there's some confusion on these. Any class that's listed as advanced is going to be dual enrolled through Eastfield. The vast majority of public universities will accept dual credit. Not all, but the vast majority will, and a lot of private schools will. However, there are some schools out there that will only take credit by the AP exam. So any class listed as AP is taught, so you can take the AP exam. So there might be some classes that are strictly an AP class, like I know AP Human Geography, you're looking at AP Biology, AP Environmental Science. All of those classes are AP only. There might be some that are dual credit only. Advanced pre-calculus is one of those. There's some advanced languages that are only dual enrolled. They're not AP. And then we have a lot of classes. In fact, the vast majority are both AP/advanced. So there'll be AP credit and also dual credit. So you can earn both. You can earn both the dual credit for that, and you could take the AP exam. If you're taking the AP exam, you typically need to score between a 3 or 5 to get credit, and depending on your score can determine more credit. If you ever have questions about whether or not you should take the AP exam, definitely talk to myself, Miss Marchesini, or one of your counselors. They'd be happy to advise you on that. When it comes to AP advanced classes, they're going to give you a 1.07 boost to your GPA. So on your transcript, if you get a 95, it'll say 95. However, in your weighted GPA, it'll include that 1.07 bump. So definitely encouraging to do that when you're looking at top 6 and top 10%. So we are a non-ranking school, but we'll provide the top 6 and top 10% to UT and A&M for their automatic admissions purposes. It is the weighted GPA that we are using. When it comes to AP exams, there are some schools out there, especially abroad, that may require the AP exam for admissions purposes. And even at domestic schools, a high AP score can always help you in the admissions process. When it comes to ACT, SAT testing, you don't really need to worry about this until your junior year. Some students might take it earlier. I really don't recommend it. Usually you want at least a semester of Algebra 2 under your belt for the math portion. I typically recommend November, December for those students that junior year are taking pre-calc, and then sometime in the spring for those students that are taking Algebra 2. You can take the test as many times as you want. You only have to take one of them. You don't have to take both. However, taking both can be beneficial just to figure out which one you do a little bit better on. PSAT test, you'll take your freshman, sophomore, and junior years. It'll be taught right on campus. It's not something you have to sign up for. You'll take it right here. It's usually in the middle of October. So freshman, sophomore year, the test doesn't matter for national merit consideration. However, it still matters. It can be used for dual credit eligibility. Some Texas public institutions require the TSI for admission, so it could be used for that. It is something that is to take serious, but it's not going to be used for college admissions consideration ever. Junior year, it can be used to become a national merit semifinalist, finalist, commended scholar, a variety of different things. So the junior year is definitely the more important test. If you ever do take prep for PSAT, make it your junior year. Don't do it your freshman or sophomore year. I don't want to see you spending the extra money when you don't need to. Even if you get a score that would qualify you for national merit consideration, it's not going to be used freshman or sophomore year, but you just can't. So again, test prep, don't worry about it until junior year. And then testing, same thing. Don't worry about it until your junior year, but be thinking about it right now. Really, to wrap things up, we want to make sure that you all are challenging yourself, not taking it easy. If you're a really strong student and have some big time aspirations, having that understanding, knowing what you're looking for, or at least thinking what you're looking for. Challenge yourself in the classroom. It can only benefit you in the long run. So make sure you're challenging yourself. It's super important. We will definitely have meetings with you that cover everything as far as timeline, college admissions, a lot more in depth than this 15-minute video right now. But we wanted to make sure to get this sent out to you at least before registration for classes close. So save your date for kind of end of the semester, and we'll get with you again. Students, as always, feel free to come see us anytime. Always happy to chat and start building those relationships early on. Additionally, follow BL College Advising on Instagram. We'll have a lot more information as far as events and everything coming up. But we really look forward to working with you, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you do have any questions. Have a great day, everyone.